Our directions with this trinomial is to factor. So what we'll do first when we're factoring trinomials, let me first say that this is the a term, the middle is the b term, and on the end we have what I call the c term. It's in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. Anyway, what I am looking for when I have a trinomial, I multiply a and c together. So in this case, 3 times 12. And I'm looking for what multiplies to give me whatever 3 times 12 is, so 36. But what adds to give me that middle term of negative 15. Well, if you're multiplying to get a positive 36, your signs are the same. They're either both positive or both negative. But since you're adding, because what we're going to do, we're going to look for the factors of 36, like 1 times 36 and so forth, that meet the stipulation, okay? But there's two stipulations. They have to multiply to give us 36 and add to give us negative 15. Well, if these two numbers with the same sign are going to add to give me that negative 15, they're going to both have to be negative, so they're not going to both be positive. Anyway, the factors of 36 that add to give me that negative 15, if you need to, use this chart, okay, and go through all the factors of 36. Let's see, 2 and 18 and so forth, okay? But negative, let's see, negative 12 and negative 3 add to give me negative 15. They multiply to give me that positive 36 though. So if I will rewrite this equation, instead of writing negative 15x, if I will write it as 3x squared minus 12x minus 3x plus 12. So all I did was copied and pasted the 3x squared and copied and pasted the 12 on the end. I just rewrote the middle that was originally negative 15x as negative 12x minus 3x because that's the same thing. And now I will say this, it doesn't matter the order in which you write it either. You could have written 3x squared minus 3x minus 12x plus 12. The order doesn't matter, just make sure they have the correct sign. In this case, it's easy to make sure they have the correct sign because they're both negative. Anyway, once we've rewritten our trinomial and it's this polynomial, we will factor by grouping. So I'll put parentheses around the front two terms and the back two terms, and I'm going to look at each binomial individually. So this front binomial, I want to see if there is a common factor between 3x squared and 12x, a greatest common factor, and there actually is. The number 3 and the variable x go into both 3x squared and 12x. If I take a 3x out, I'm left with x, so 3x squared divided by 3x is x, minus, so now I'll say 12x divided by that GCF of 3x to get minus 4. So now I forget about this front binomial and what I just did, and I think about the one in the back, okay? If it has that negative in the front, you'll always want to pull out a negative in your GCF. And then let's think about 3x and 12. 12 and the number 3 have a 3 in common. 3 goes into both of those numbers. And then I can't pull out a variable. Okay, so now let me see what I'm left with when I pull out a GCF of negative 3. What I'm going to say is negative 3x divided by negative 3 to be left with just a positive x. And then I'll say 12 divided by negative 3 to be left with negative 4. And look, if you do this part correctly, what you'll be left with, the x minus 4, is the same, okay? So now x minus 4 is a GCF. If you take out an x minus 4, if you literally forget about the x minus 4 and take an x minus 4 out, you're left with 3x minus 3 And now you have fully factored your trinomial.